Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's appropriate for me to say welcome to Derby. Not only the centre of the universe, but home to Rolls-Royce, Bombardier, and the very first elected Reform councillors. In a few weeks' time, we will continue that election when we have all-out elections for the first time since being a unitary authority. So Rolls-Royce in Derby is home to the famous Rolls-Royce engineering company who designed, built and developed the Merlin engine that was used to power both the Spitfire and Hurricane fighter planes during the Second World War. More recently, Rolls-Royce builds nuclear reactors for our submarines. Great news for the country as a whole, with the creation of thousands of UK jobs and an opportunity to showcase British innovation and expertise on a world stage. The rail industry is also a big part of Derby, with the very first turntable built by Robert Stephenson for the North Midland Railway back in 1839. It was the first of its kind in the country, and it is even believed to be the first in the world. Earlier this year, we were delighted to hear that Derby was announced to become the new headquarters of Britain's reformed railway. Derby is also famed for early industrial heritage. Loam's Mill was the very first successful silk mill in the UK back in 1717, the very first mechanised factory in the world. You are indeed in a very special place today. However, since those heady days, Derby has been let down by successive Labour and Conservative councils. If you take a walk into the city centre, you will see some of the good things and some not so good things. Our market square looks a worse for wear. The assembly rooms have been closed for more than a decade. The market hall, although work is being done, it has been closed for many years. Only the other month, the old Equal Market has closed down. And I think Derby needs a fresh spruce. It needs people that actually care about Derby rather than the usual career politicians. Derby City Council is one of those hung councils where there's no overall control. I'm delighted to tell you that is because of our presence. Most cities lean towards Labour in terms of control. Nottingham, just down the road, has 55 councillors. 50 are Labour. Leicester has 55 councillors and 38 are Labour. In Derby, we have 51 councillors, but only 16 are Labour. So Derby is special because we made it special. Now, I listen to the media, and Richard Tice quite often gets quoted about and being lambasted, saying that we only take Tory votes. Well, that's not the case. Derby proves that we take Labour votes as well. All our wards here in Derby are all former Labour wards, Labour seats. I can assure you that we appeal to a much broader section of voting public than just Conservative voters. We attract former Labour voters as well. I suspect, like everyone here, we get frustrated by disjointed policy makeup in all the mainstream parties. I get fed up of the hypocrisy and the complete lack of common sense. The media are also to blame. They allow the Conservatives, Labour and the Liberal Democrats to deliberately isolate agendas. They never talk about the green agenda, the climate change agenda and the net zero agenda alongside, say, the housing agenda or the immigration agenda, for example. All across the country, and Derby is heavily affected, you will find thousands of houses being built on greenbelt and arable land because we are short of housing. Yet no one talks about those agendas in the same sentence. It's total hypocrisy. So, having reform in local councils is very important. Only this week, the Planning Committee agreed to build houses on a local park, a park where open space is set at a premium. It was a council application and was supported by the Liberal Democrats, the Labour Party, as well as the Tories. Well, the Tories don't care because it's not their area. Labour decided that housing was more important than the well-being of the existing local population, and the Liberal Democrats put aside their green credentials on this occasion. Only Reform councillors spoke against this precedent that may have a huge future impact on all the parks in our city. The success to all elections is not only strategy, but most importantly, the team that you have behind you. I am very proud to have a team that has grown from strength to strength. Now, we normally have thirds in election terms, meaning we only need 17 candidates each year. The council voted to change this to all outs, where all 51 councillors are up for election. I can tell you that our team has 51 candidates this year. It's a full slate, and we mean to fight every seat because Derby needs us and Derby deserves better. I can tell you that we work hard, we fight hard, and we win. I know some of you in the room today may think that local elections are not that important. The bigger fish is the general election. Well, I agree that the ultimate goal is the general election, but local elections are equally important if we are to succeed in a general election. If you don't believe me, take a look at where all the MPs for the smaller parties, such as the Greens or the Lib Dems. Under those MPs, you will find a strong selection of local councillors from their party. And also, if you want voters to start voting for you, we need reform on the ballot paper every time there is an election. We must get voters in the habit of voting for all of us if we are to break the surface. That's my long-term strategy, and I want it to be your long-term strategy. Well, our country desperately needs a better choice on the ballot paper. Our country desperately needs better choice of politics. Our country needs you. Right, it is customary at this time of the year for the host area of a little campaigning. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a few delivery rounds left for promoting the general election bid for reform in Derby South. If any of you can offer your help, please see me in the foyer, and we'll have some letters for you to deliver, complete with maps. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Now, just up the road, we're delighted to have on board some new friends, some new councillors from Amber Valley, headed up by Councillor Alex Stevenson. In only a short space of time, Alex and his team have raised 28 candidates for the May's elections. I think that's pretty good. That is an absolute fantastic achievement, considering they've only been in the party for a couple of months. So, to the end of this, I'd like to invite all those council candidates to please come up on the stage and have a quick photo on the stage. Would you like to come along? Come on. How are we doing? How's it going? Thank you. There we go.
Spread out, spread out, spread out.
Come on, there.
Spread out. All good? Fantastic. Sausages, vote reform, vote Derby.
Look at the camera.
Vote reform, vote Derby.